This is your debt, and this is a snowball. And this is how the debt snowball method is gonna help you gain the motivation to pay off your debts. Paying off your debts once and for all is crucial for your personal financial success. And this is why the debt snowball method may be the answer to you finally becoming debt-free. This is one of the best methods when you are first starting out to try to eliminate your personal debts, like credit cards, lines of credit, car loans, and student loan debts. And most importantly, I'm gonna show you what is the debt snowball method, how does the debt snowball method work, how you can implement it, along with the pros and cons of this method, so you definitely will want to stay until the very end. So what is the debt snowball method anyway? It sounds pretty cool, but how can it help me be debt-free, Maher? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is where you pay the lowest debt amount item first, then once that is paid off, you move on to the second lowest amount. So you take the amounts you were paying in the first debt, to then add that to what surplus you have to pay the second lowest debt. You owe $1,000 on your lowest debt amount, and the minimum payment each month is $50. You pay the minimum amount plus any extra surplus that you can put together to pay down this debt amount once and for all. After this $1,000 is paid off, you move to the next highest debt, which is $2,000. The minimum payment on the second debt is $100 a month. But hold on, you got a new card up your sleeve. No pun intended. You now pay the minimum payment of the $100 on the second debt. Plus now you can take that extra $50 you used to be paying on the first debt and put it on the second one. And now you have $100 plus $50 equals $150, as well as any surplus you have to pay down this amount. Then once you pay off this annoying $2,000, you can then take this stack of $150 and then move that onto the third debt, and so on. By continually adding amounts from previous debts, you create a snowball effect of having more and more money to pay the next and then the next debt amounts. This is how the debt snowball works and how you can implement it right now. The first thing to do is to make a budget and list out all of your debts. Write down the name of the debt, the types such as credit card, line of credit, car loan, student loan, etc. Then the amount owed as of the current balance, and the minimum payment required. We can ignore the APR or the annual percentage rate in this method because we are focused on the principal amounts of the debt and not the interest rate of the credit cards or lines of credit. Next, you start to then order your principal debt amounts from the smallest dollar amount first to then the highest amount last. There you have it. You can now clearly see the order of your debts and the one you'll be starting out with paying first, which is the lowest amount. You want to ensure with this strategy that you have enough to cover the minimum payments of the other bills every month, because what you're doing is paying the minimums on everything else except for this one bill you're working on, totally getting rid of and paying off. You focus on one bill at a time and you don't move on to the next one until you are fully done with this current bill. You will then take the minimum amounts and any surplus you have to then move that amount to the next debt amount you have to pay off. You will notice that you have more and more money in this method to pay off the next and then the next debt. As you take those minimum payment amounts you used to pay to the previous one and then put those towards the next debt you are going to tackle. Here are the pros of using the debt snowball method. You will gain motivation, you will feel inspired to keep going, and you will see progress. Humans are emotional creatures, so by gaining that pleasure of paying off a balance and seeing it finally at $0, you gain the momentum to keep going. That is all about momentum and, more importantly, consistency. If you feel great paying off the smaller debt amounts and that keeps you motivated and wanting to continue on in your debt journey, then this method is for you regardless of the extra interest costs, because it's more important to stay consistent when it comes to debt repayment. A con of the debt snowball method is that it may be more expensive in the long term, because this method cares not about the interest rate amount that you are paying on that credit card or a line of credit you are trying to pay off. So it may cost you more in interest payments. So this is a trade-off that you have to be okay with. This is not for you if you have issues with paying more or want to start paying your highest rate cards first. Once I started to pay off my smaller credit card bills using the debt snowball method, I got so excited and motivated myself to keep it going. That's what's gonna help you be able to finally get rid of those pesky bills. And this is why you need to watch this next video here right now, as it's gonna show you how to stay out of debt in the first place so you don't have to deal with debt ever again.